Hey, 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 we're here and really pleased to be flipping the tables on our discussions because for the multi book launch because Kay, you have also got some wonderful books releasing today, haven't you? Yeah, tell us more. Tell us more.
Yeah, thank you, Rory. And yes, it was a bit unfair that I pushed these two through the entire self-publishing process without at least doing something alongside them, while I was also creating all the coursework as we went along for them to follow. And so it was to finish a project that I'd started earlier this year. After I'd launched my book in September, Mindfulness with Flowers, I also launched it with 3 notebooks. So these are already out. And as you can see, they are matching or photographs from the mindfulness book. So same size, but matching cover. And then the other designs are all from the mindfulness book. And these are just so you can personalize it, write your name, contact details if you want to leave them, if you're likely to leave it around at like university or something, or work, if you want to take it to work, or if you want to keep it at home. And you can either write your own quotes, put stickers, doodle, whatever you want. And the rest of it is 100 pages of cream lined paper. And I went for cream because it's easier on the eyes, it's more relaxing, feels more luxury. So I got the first 3 out with Mindfulness with Flowers in September, and I had 12 designs in total that I wanted to launch. And so today, Saturday, the remaining 9 designs will be out. I don't have them here as hard copies, but you can find them all on my Amazon profile and on my website, and we'll pop the links below. Thank you, Rory.
Wow, that's this is like so as we've gone through this journey and I've uh learned, how to keep things simple myself through this process of and following your steps to getting things done quickly. You always seem to manage to also just come up with just so many leaps and bounds. When I suggest something, you've already done it, and it's like it's just completely already done in so many ways. And I love that the way you just implement stuff. So well done. Firstly, congratulations. We'll celebrate that. And what? So it's 9 notebooks.
9 more. Yes, so that'll make 12 in total, 12 designs. Yeah.
Wow. And just to get a tiny bit of a background, why mindfulness and what is it? What's so special about these books to you?
Great question. Yes. Mindfulness is a strategy that I've used for many years. And after raising children, finding a lot of life very stressful, overwhelming, finding myself burnt out and kind of dipping towards depression frequently, even if not fully in it, I was always prone to it. But I could never focus on things like meditation. Mindfulness, I found was something that I could do in really small doses. And Rory's got this great thing about small, simple, sure, significant. And to me, mindfulness was that coping strategy that for years was small, simple, sure, and it made a significant difference to my day, every single day. Being able to consciously and aware, with awareness, take even 5 or 10 or 30 seconds to be mindful about something. And it was like when life was just this big storm going on, it was like, hang on, the butterfly in the middle of the storm, just stand still, pay attention to what's going on around me and recenter. So it was a way of being able to recenter my emotions before moving on to the next step. And so if I was at home, it might mean taking a cup of coffee down the garden and looking at the flowers. And as evidently, I very often took the camera with me as well because I love photography. And that moment of taking those photographs was mindful in itself. And I think there are other books out there about mindful photography, about the process of that, like the Zen motorcycle in the workshop type of books. So for me, some of it was the actual photography. But then there were days where perhaps when I was at work and my workload was so heavy in my job that sometimes the only time I got to think of me was the 20 seconds it took to walk to the printer, or the 30 seconds it took for my coffee cup to fill up at the machine. And if it meant I could use those same mindfulness strategies for walking mindfully or just looking out of the window for 30 seconds, and sometimes just having a little ornament on my desk where I could take 5 seconds to look at that and pay attention, it was what helped me to get through some really, really difficult times. And so it became a really strong and powerful strategy that I wanted to share with others. And so for the first book, this one, so if I come back to this, it was my first mindfulness book, Darker Than Dark. Um, I went through a really deep depression after divorce. I'd lost 8 jobs in 3 years. We ended up in lockdown, and then I'd put my back out. And I ended up in such a deep, dark depression that it was mindfulness again that helped me to come out of that darkness. And so I ended up writing a poem. And that poem then ended up becoming the first mindfulness book, which is once I get past the first few pages, you get a verse and a photograph, starting at the beginning with the dark part of my journey. Let me back up a bit. And then it works right through the book as we gradually add in colour. And until we end up at the end of the poem, we end up with a full rainbow. And quite ironically, this is a photograph I took before I was divorced, but I actually now live at the end of that rainbow since moving. And how could I not use that to complete my journey back out of that recovery of depression? I now live there. So that was kind of how that all came together to create my first mindfulness book, was using all my techniques and strategies to help heal myself, along with other strategies as well. It was not the only one, but it was a big part. And then I wanted to do something a lot more cheerful. So I went with Mindfulness with Flowers to move away from the topic of depression and to just bring mindfulness to the average person. And so in this book, the each one is combined with a list of texts and just basically sentences. And like Rory says, flipping good book for his and flipping tables today, this is very much the same. Pick a page, pick a page, pick one sentence. There's your mindfulness technique for 10, 30 seconds, 2 minutes, whatever you want. And it gives you an idea of something to look for in the photograph. So for example, on this one, although this is a book I released in September, so my daughter, my daughter picked up her son and ran through the spray, laughing as they went, then turned to see what I would do. I already had my phone out and taking the photos as I laughed too. Sorry, that's more the description. So taking in the colours and beauty of the flowers in the trolley, with sun shining through the petals, where would you plant them? So it's more about thinking about when you get home, where are you going to plant these, in your garden or in your flower pots? But this literally was, I was at the garden centre with my daughter, and as the sprayers came on, she literally picked her little boy up with and ran with him, laughing as they went through the spray. But at the same time, this just looks so beautiful. Phone out, there we go, photograph. But to me, that photograph has got so many things to be mindful about that to me, a photograph's not just a quick glance and put it down. Actually lose yourself in the world that's in there. And that for me is what all of these little bits on here are about with every single photograph in this book. It could be some simpler ones like calming chamomile, which actually this is going to be one of the new notebook designs, my chamomile. Just randomly picking some are more rain orientated because sometimes the perfection in a photograph is when things are not perfect in nature. And this poppy was absolutely overwhelmed by the downpour that we'd had early spring. And yet to me, the picture is so mindful and you can take in so much detail. So yeah, so that's where the mindfulness for me has been a powerful thing. But to have the notebooks to match, imagine putting them together or any collection. Some great Christmas presents coming up. Yay.
Awesome. Brilliant. Yeah. So we'll be sharing your links for people to see. I'm really fascinated as we're recording this just beforehand. I haven't even seen these yet, so I can't wait to see the different designs you've chosen. And yeah, I like to call it proactive reflection. and the way to think about things and learn from stuff is the only way is to actually think deliberately and not let the thinking happen to us, which would inevitably go down tracks of, oh, this is wrong, this is wrong, this is broken, what do I do? All that kind of stuff. Whereas we proactively reflect on things and be mindful of what we're not just thinking, but then putting it into words, it's golden to be able to write out what is coming naturally from the past or the present, to let it out of the head so it stops going, it's got a point to make, got a point to make. So just get that point out, whatever it is. And I love the fact that you're sharing a way to for someone to take it. No, no, not seriously comes to mind, but what I mean is take it
Lightly. Yeah.
to write down in a sense of how do you put I don't know how you'd say it. How would you say it?
Yeah, I think it's about being more easy on themselves, for me, because even when you're having a really, really bad day, it doesn't mean you can't have some good moments in there. And when it's a stressful day, you can still have calm moments. If it's a busy day, you can have quieter moments out. When you're surrounded by family, and from my point of view, either working in an office or being a parent, and life was overwhelming, if it meant you could find just a few moments to have a break from that. It was about creating that balance in the day. And I think one of the key things about life and emotions, because especially being an emotional awareness expert, which is my key topic over the mindfulness, for me, mindfulness is the secondary strategy. Because when teenagers are stressed, overwhelmed, depressed, and then parenting is stressful in itself, we needed strategies for both. So I've got emotional awareness for parenting teens, but that can go across the board, to be honest, for anyone who needs that. But mindfulness to me was something as a parent that I found priceless in helping me help my teenagers, or while I was helping them, I needed to look after me as well. Excuse me, sorry. And so it was creating that balance. And no matter how much we try to balance life, life will automatically chuck all the rubbish on one end of that seesaw. And it's our responsibility to balance it out with the good stuff on the other end. And if you don't put that good stuff on, you're constantly going to feel weighed down and overwhelmed. And mindfulness is a great way to just gradually rebalance that and keep things on top during the day. And let's say that you will maybe need other strategies as well, but it's just incorporating this into little things. I also have a course on the website, which is 10 steps for beginning mindfulness. And again, that takes you through mindfulness strategies, whether you're at home, whether you're at work, whether you're dealing with working at home with young children, whether it's commuting to and from work. And this mindfulness course takes you through various different ways that you can incorporate mindfulness right throughout any day for anybody. So that is very, very powerful strategy to use. So, keeps things a little bit lighter, takes that weight off all that stress and overwhelm for me. So thank you.
Fantastic. Brilliant, Kay. Yeah, onwards to the rest of the day. So, thank you for sharing, and I'm really excited to check these out. And is there anything that you want that needs to be shared in this video before we move on?
Yeah, we are going to be live at 11 o'clock with Rory, Emma, and myself. We're going to do a panel discussion. We're going to bring in more topics as well around the emotional awareness, mental health, trauma healing that all of us are dealing with, and a little bit more about the bookshelf itself and how we're working together as a collaboration, what it's going to offer you as an audience going forward, and the potential for other self-help authors that may want to join us as well. So yes, lots to come at 11 o'clock on YouTube. And then again at 6 p.m. this evening, we will be in the Facebook group and we will have some more exclusive information for you there. So have a great day, everybody, and thank you for watching in. And thank you, Rory, for flipping the tables today. Great job.
Awesome. Nice one, Kay. We'll speak soon. See you all later.
Bye.